Own sweet home, own sweet home. I dream of my own sweet home. Right here, right now, Amit Inamdar will show you how. Call Amit and you are set. Or just visit ownsweethome.net.
DRE license number 013555522 and NMLS number 236574.
Hello, Radio Zindagi listeners. This is Sokya Inamdar. Today we have another exciting show with Amit Inamdar. You are going to get the Power Pack 30 minutes of information on 10 things that drive up the cost of home ownership. We always welcome you to call us at 510-270-8830 to ask a question on the radio. However, if you are unable to get in, you can always submit a question for a personal response. Just go to Amit's website, ownsweethome.net, and click on the radio show link to submit your question. You can always find Amit Inamdar just by searching his name on Google.
Hello friends, and thank you Sokya for being on the show for the first time, and we are going to have a fun time today. So Own Sweet Home, welcome to my show listeners. Power Hour with me, Amit Inamdar. Today's Power Hour will really open up your eyes to see why it is important to have one knowledgeable person handle your real estate buying, selling and financing. I'm going to point out 10 things that drive up the cost of home ownership. Whether you are a buyer or a seller, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's going to affect everyone about these things I'm going to talk about. Excuse me. These 10 things are not just mortgage or real estate related. They are related to both. You can buy a home without a mortgage, and you can get a mortgage unless you have a property to mortgage against. Cash buyers are completely different ballgame. So let's focus on the homeowners buying or selling with a mortgage loan. The top 10 things we are going to discuss today that drive the cost of ownership are the inspection contingency, the loan contingency, appraisal contingency, the repair negotiations, your credit score, your down payment, occupancy of the property, whether you are owner occupied or investment, size of the loan, time delays, and hiring the right agent.
Yes, listeners, real estate and mortgage are the two sides of the same coin. Amit understands them and knows how to leverage the available resources and information to save you money and reduce the cost of home ownership. So, Amit, tell us your insights for saving clients money.
All right, so let's do that, Sokya. See, I add value to my clients by saving them money. To save money requires investigation of every aspect of the real estate transaction. Let it be getting the loan, performing inspections, buying property as is, addressing the property related contingencies, and closing on time. Every step has cost associated with it, and at the end it may translate into higher or lower costs of home ownership for the homeowners. Of course, one of the major factors is hiring the right agent to help you make informed and timely decisions. We can start with real estate contracts. It clearly states that time is of essence. Any delays caused by one party may translate into harm to other party, and in many cases the hurt party is reimbursed by the party that's hurting them.
Listeners, if you have questions, call us 510-270-8830. 510-270-8830. Amit, please give us an example of the situation where this may cause additional cost to home ownership.
Aren't you supposed to call me Dad, Sokya, or to call me Amit? All right. Okay. For the show, I will allow you to call me Amit. Okay. All right. So, see, I was representing a buyer who had a friend working for a major bank and decided to do a loan through them. Okay. If things happened on time, no issues. However, after repeatedly reminding my client to get the loan approval on time, loan docs on time, and closing on time, the delays happened and the buyer could not close on time. The property was worth about $800K and the buyer had put down $24,000 deposit, which is a 3%, and all that money is at stake when you kind of delay and not close. So for not being closing on time, seller provided a notice of performance and demanded extra $7,000 to have the property sold to the buyer, or just not selling it at all to the buyer. Buyer delays had caused this if the seller's airline tickets, which were apparently non-refundable, to go to waste, and also the hotel reservations in Hawaii where he was planning to go. Delay in on-time performance caused buyer additional cost to buy this particular home. And in this situation, if the buyer were to back out, he would have lost his 24K deposit. So 7K was kind of better than 24K.
So what happened?
All right. Okay, you're getting interesting in the story now. Okay. We had to negotiate to have the cost reduced for the buyer. So both buyer and seller can be happy. Eventually, the lender reimbursed buyer due to the lender's fault. However, the situation turned very stressful for the buyer and his family. My buyer then confessed that he should have dealt with just one individual in the process. Work demands and communicating with multiple parties spread him too thin, causing a very stressful situation.
In one of your previous programs, Amit, you had mentioned that the contingencies save you money. So what are these contingencies and how do you use them to save your clients money?
Right, that's a good question. All right. So contingencies in the real estate contracts help the buyers and sometimes sellers deal with future uncertainties. Typical real estate contract will have contingencies related to investigation, seller disclosures, inspections, agent disclosures, loan, and appraisal. For example, let's say appraisal contingency may say unless the home appraises at the price buyer is paying, buyer has no obligation to buy the home. Appraisals are typically done by the lender to protect their money, the loan that they are giving the buyer. And buyer may put down 5 to 20% down payment and the lender is providing the balance of the home. So lender needs to protect his money.
And how does this save clients money?
So the previous example I gave you, the appraisal came in at $760,000, okay? And I negotiated the price down from $800,000 to $775,000, saving the buyer $25,000 than what he was originally planning to pay, because we had an appraisal contingency, okay? This definitely had upset the seller, and when the loan got delayed by major bank that my client chose, seller wanted to get back to the buyer due to the loss in terms of the contract price. Overall, my client did save money, however at the expense of some peace of mind.
Yay, Amit to the rescue.
Yes.
So how do inspections save clients money? Don't they have to pay for inspections?
Yes. Typically, the buyers do pay for the inspections, okay? And if buyer decides not to accept the seller inspections or seller does not have inspection, they will order their own. And when I'm representing the seller, I make sure we do inspections in advance so there are no surprises during the contractual period. As far as inspection costs are concerned, my supply chain allows my client to get some inspection free when they order other inspections together from the same company. Sure, this is a minimal saving. However, the real saving comes from the property condition evaluation. Let's say you do the inspection and there is a serious termite damage or roof leaks and the roof is end of its life, or maybe major home components like furnace, water heater are at the end of useful life. This provides me opportunity to negotiate on my client's behalf. Looks like we have a caller coming in. Let's hear it. Hello, this is Amit, On Sweet Home. How can I help and who is this?
This is Swapnil here. I'm calling you to check what are the investment opportunities in the Bay Area where the prices are so high. So do you think there can be any property in the Bay Area where we can generate a positive cash flow? It could be like $100, $200, but is it possible?
Yeah, of course. If you pay all cash for the property, you have a positive cash flow, right? So it depends on the down payment you want to put in. So
I think let's say 25% is the typical lender.
Yeah, so the minimum requirement is like say 25% for an investment property. And if you want to have a property that cash flows in the Bay Area, it's very unlikely you are going to find it that way, okay? But look at it this way, okay? And this is a very compelling argument. Let's say you have a $500 negative cash flow, okay? And you tend to buy the property in the Bay Area. The properties in the Bay Area have doubled in price every 10 years, and that's what the history of the Bay Area shows. And every time the market is high, everybody kind of doubts what's going to happen in next 10 years, and you see doubling of the prices because we have a limited land. Now, for $500 a month, where are you of a negative cash flow? Where are you going to find, like I say, $500,000 property? Okay, that's a pretty good bargain. Now, let's say you went to places like Texas and Arizona or Utah where you get a positive cash flow. the property prices there hardly ever go up. So the thing is, the return on your investment, or the way you're kind of looking at it, has a lot more potential here in the Bay Area, Swapnil, than going out of state. All right?
Okay.
Thank you for the call, Swapnil.
Listeners, you are listening to Power Hour with Amit Inamdar. If you have any questions regarding real estate, loan, or today's topic, give us a call in the studio, 510-270-8830. 510-270-8830. So, what kind of items can you negotiate, Amit?
Okay, right. Yeah, we're talking about the property inspections, right? And that we talked about some negotiations based on the inspections, right? So, okay, so this is a standard answer, okay? Technically, you can negotiate almost everything, okay? However, I like to prioritize the items in the order of importance to have the move-in ready home. Also, order of importance based on the cost involved, okay? For one of the homes in Fremont, we had electrical system that was outdated compared to today's standards. They also had a Federal Pacific electric panels that was on a recall list and was known to catching fire and failures. So we negotiated the complete electrical system overhaul, and my clients got a home with new electric panel and grounded circuitry throughout the house.
We've been talking about the 10 things that drive the cost of home ownership. So far, Amit has identified various contingencies and how they can be used for the purpose of negotiations. As you know, Amit is the certified negotiations expert for real estate transactions, and his knowledge and skills are critical in negotiations and saving you money. We will take a short break, and we will be back.
Have you joined the Happily Ever After Club?
Happily Ever After Club?
Happily Ever After Club. Membership is automatic once you buy your dream home from Amit Inamdar. He is both real estate and mortgage broker. One stop, no need to shop.
Oh, Amit Inamdar from Own Sweet Home.
Yes, that's Amit from OWN Own Sweet Home. Call him today, 510-364-6686. Again, 510-364-6686. Or visit ownsweethome.net. That is OWNOwnSweetHome.net. Number 013-555-22 NMLS 236574.
Welcome back, friends. This is Amit Inamdar,
and Sokya.
Yes, and Sokya too, and she's doing a wonderful job today. All right, so this is Amit Inamdar and Sokya Inamdar, and if you're in the market to sell, buy, and finance your home, you will get unbiased advice that will save you money, and that's my promise to you. To get hold of me, just Google my name, Amit Inamdar, Real Estate Broker, and you will know ways to find me. Having all your questions answered at one location and by one person means saving time, money, and having peace of mind that you are being cared for by someone like me who knows this business. Today we are talking about the 10 things that basically drive the cost of home ownership. So if you have any questions related to real estate, do give us a call. The studio number is 510-270-8830 to get a quick answer.
Amit, it's interesting that you use contingencies to save your clients money. Many home buyers think contingencies only allow buyers to evaluate the home and make a
A no-go decision?
No-go decision?
Yes. So basically, contingencies do have a purpose of to making a go-no-go decision, right? And that's what a lot of people think, okay? I mean, that's what the contingencies are there for. So using available information for the benefit of my clients is what I do. So if the home looks terrible, there is no point owning one, okay? And I've had clients recently who saw some home which was a fixer-upper and said, hey, Amit, let's make an offer even lower than what their already low-priced home. And I said, no, that's not how it's going to work, and sometimes one lender is not even going to give you the loan on this house, okay? So in other cases, I've had my clients pull out of the contract as we had seen extensive damage like mold issues and seller refusing to complete the work using proper licensed contractors, or neighborhood nuisances, proximity to earthquake faults, death in the property, extensive ongoing maintenance, and more. Recently we used the contingencies and called off the seller's bluff and negotiated the contract $30,000 below the original price, even though we had no appraisal contingency. We talked about the real estate aspects of cost of ownership. Now let's focus on the loan aspect of the home ownership, okay?
Yes, as you said earlier, real estate and mortgage are the two sides of the same coin. And since you are our expert on both real estate and mortgage sides, let's talk about the issues on loan sides that can increase the home ownership cost.
Right, and they can either increase or lower the home ownership cost. Okay, and first and foremost important factor on the loan side is your credit score. Okay, for great jumbo loan rates, credit score above 780 is very desirable, and some lenders don't even give us jumbo loans unless your score is 740 and above. These high credit scores translate into lower interest rates. Okay, so for most of the conventional federal loans, the score of 740 plus is considered a great score, and you will get the best possible rate. The credit score ranges that determine your rates are like 740 and above, 720 to 739, 700 to 719, 680 to 699. Like this 20 point increments kind of going down all the way to even 620. So you want to save money on home ownership costs through your credit score, you better have paid your payments on time without delays. The credit scoring models are complicated, and definitely use the mortgage credit score models that basically get used in case of mortgages are different than the free credit score models that you see. Okay, score of 739 versus 740 makes a sizable difference in the cost of interest that you will pay during this cost of ownership.
Listeners, you are listening to Power Hour with Amit Inamdar. If you have any questions regarding real estate, loan, or today's topic, give us a call in studio. 510-270-8830. 510-270-8830. Anyways, let's get back to what you were talking about. That's very interesting. So how does equity in the home or buyer's down payment affect the cost of home ownership?
Right. See, from the standpoint of the higher versus lower loan amount, your monthly payment will be higher or lower. Okay. However, other aspects of the down payment is lower down payment means higher the rate, because now lender is taking the risk, and higher the risk, higher are the rewards. So lender has to be rewarded with higher rate. So consider it this way: how much of your skin is in the game? If you put down 3.5% down payment for loans like an FHA loan, the upfront mortgage insurance, monthly mortgage insurance increase the cost of home ownership, and your effective interest rate may be as high as 2% above the note rate that you have gotten. So if your loan is say 4% rate at 30-year fixed, your effective rate may be as high as 6% due to these surrounding costs like mortgage insurances. Typically, 40% down payment will get you the best rate, assuming all other things are equal, and of course you have a great credit score. Until the mortgage crisis of 2008, 20% down payment was good enough to get the good interest rates. However, many borrowers do not know that has changed to 25% down payment and 75% loan after this 2008 mortgage crisis.
So home occupancy also changes the cost of home ownership?
Yep.
Does this mean that owner-occupied homes and rental homes have different interest rates?
Yes. Investment properties have higher interest rates than the owner-occupied properties. If you are an investor and are making money, the lender wants the piece of action. Of course, there are lot fewer investors than owner-occupants, and that also is a reason to charge more for this savvy real estate investor for their loan than the owner occupants. Okay, so I always advise my clients saying to buy the home first. Okay, so the home that you are going to live in, okay, however small, then when the time is to upgrade down the line, rent your current property and buy a new owner occupied property. So you're always getting the best possible rate in the market. You always have to pay down less down payment, and as you go along, your older home has been paid off, so you may have a better cash flow using this strategy. And Swapnil, if you are still listening, that's another way you want to kind of look at this. So this way your lower interest rate continues on your previous home, making you the winner in both investment and primary residence cost of ownership.
Our next item was the loan size. How does this matter? Higher loan amounts should net lenders more money in interest, and they should give lower rates for higher loan amounts, right?
Exactly opposite. Okay.
Oh.
It depends on who is in need, right? Higher the loan amount, higher are the rates. Guess person planning to borrow more is capable of making higher payments. Also, higher loan amounts present lenders with higher risk, so the rates are higher. The typical loan limits where the rates change, are the loan amounts of 417,000 or below, are the loan amounts of 417,000 and up to 625,500, and jumbo loans above 625,500. Some lenders have 750k as the intermediate limit, and the next category of the loan is like the loans under a million or above a million. These loan limits are also identified like with terms like conventional, high balance, jumbo, super jumbo loan amounts, and the rates on that change and your cost of ownership changes with that.
Time is of essence, both for the power hour as well as the real estate transactions. We talked about seller penalties for purchase contract delays. Are there penalties on loan side for delays?
Absolutely. Say, if the delays cause your interest rate lock to expire, right, you will have to pay more to extend the lock or get the higher rate available for at that time. Say when you actually lock the rate, you lock it for like 15 days or 30 days, okay, knowing that you are going to close during that time. But for some unforeseen delay and you have to extend the lock, the additional 30-day extension, it may cost you as much as 0.5% of the loan amount. So on a loan of say 400,000, the cost of extension may be $2,000. So make sure you are on top of things. Deal with one person like me who will be on top of things for you, giving you peace of mind on both real estate and mortgage sides.
If you want to learn about current market and home buying, you can view the First Time Home Buyer webinar. It's available on the website ownsweethome.net. That is OWNsweethome.net. If you are a first-time home buyer or just want to feel comfortable with the home buying process, do visit the website and listen to the recorded webinar. This will not only give you the overview of the home buying process, it will also pre-qualify you, let you know about how one goes about neighborhood selections, school selections, etc. So the link is located as an image on the left column. You cannot miss it. If you do not remember the website, just Google Amit Inamdar, real estate broker, and you will get onto his website. After you have viewed the webinar, all your questions may have been answered or you'll have new questions. This is when you can have a one-on-one meeting with Amit for your pre-approval and neighborhood selection. This will make you ready for the bidding wars.
Yep, absolutely. The bidding wars are still happening. And yes, listeners, the webinar is a great resource for everyone. It will prepare you and educate you for the market. You will be ahead of other buyers knowing the market dynamics, history, and contract negotiation topics that are covered in the webinar. Just to kind of let you know, I had a buyer accepted in the contract today. He wrote only one offer. I had a previous buyer who accepted, he wrote only one offer. So remember, we are actually very strategically with education making things happen where buyers are getting into the contract by writing one or two offers at the max. So if you are tired being in the market writing offers after offers in the hands of incompetent agents just because of you're trying to get something out of nothing, okay, then just give me a call and we will show you how this market works, educate you so you can make quick decisions and save tons of money, because every time you lose the house, the market goes up, okay? So you lost something for like $5,000 bidding, then the next time you are paying extra $25,000, $30,000, and that's where the value of education comes into play. For buyers who are upgrading their home and must sell their home to buy another, I have a very unique way of structuring the contract where you need not have a contingency to sell your home. We can do it without it in many cases in this market. Just call me. I will show you how you can buy a new home without having to sell current or having the contingency on the current home. Sometimes when you want to sell your home and buy another, the bidding process takes a special meaning and it requires a creative way to present the offer.
As Amit said earlier, whether you want to buy, sell, or finance, you will get unbiased, comprehensive advice from Amit Inamdar, and that is his promise to you. So if you are in the market to buy, sell, or finance, just give Amit a call at 510-364-6686. He will ask you many thought-provoking questions that will clarify your needs, wants, and values. Once your values are clear, decisions are easy. Additionally, you can find an archives of Power Hour radio show on Amit's website, ownsweethome.net. That is OWNsweethome.net under the video section. So what are the purchase loan rates today for various programs, Amit?
Okay. See, right now the yield curves are inverted and the short-term rates are not as attractive as the long-term 30-year rates. And I was just quoting rates for the purchase loans to my buyers today, and they are just hovering around 4% range for a purchase money loan on a high balance loan limits of 625,500. And again, if you saw the market today, the rates have dropped because the markets have come down. The Dow and the industrial average and Nasdaq kind of fell pretty sharply today. And this is basically a kind of a favorable situation for a lot of buyers today, ahead of the Fed action that may happen next week to actually increase the rates. Just to let you know, I also offer no point, no cost refinancing. So if you want to take advantage, just call me at 510-364 or Google my name, Amit Inamdar, and you will get my coordinates.
Amit, can you summarize the 10 things that drive the cost of home ownership?
Yes, actually we said that in the beginning, and they are inspection, loan and appraisal contingency. Those are 3, followed by repair negotiations, your credit score, your down payment, the occupancy of the home, size of the loan, time delays, and hiring the right agent.
Thank you, Amit, for this wonderful show. Today we talked buyer opportunities and market slowdowns. As Amit indicated, you need a real expert who can identify, educate, and negotiate the deal on your side. Call him today at 510-364-6686.
All right. Thank you, listeners. The 10 things that drive the cost of ownership. That's what the topic was today. All right. Thank you, listeners. You have a wonderful weekend. I will see you next week. Meantime, happy buying, happy selling, and financing, and own sweet home.
Woo!
Own sweet home, own sweet home. I dream of my own sweet home. Right here, right now. Amit Inamdar will show you how. Call Amit and you are set. Or just visit ownsweethome.net.
DRE license number 0135552 and NMLS number 236574.